What's up YouTube, Dustin Doyle back with another video. Today I want to share my experience yesterday, May 3rd, because today's May 4th, on Success Resources America and their National Achievers Congress seminar that I attended in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, yesterday, May 3rd. And the reason why I want to share it with you, as you can see in the title, what I'm going to end up putting in the title is, I got to see Gary Vee, Les Brown, and Tony Robbins speak live, and some other speakers and people from the Super Bowl, head coach Doug Peterson. And I didn't watch Nick Foles talk because he was at the end with Tony Robbins, so I kind of skipped his 20-minute speech just because at that point the seminar was already going on for 12 and a half hours, and I was just kind of like wanting to get home. Not that I didn't want to see like Tony talk still and stuff, but Tony talked for like 4 hours. A lot of jumping up and down, a lot of energy in that room, but a lot of people were leaving, and I was getting really tired. Never done a 12-hour seminar before, so that was the first time for me. Now in this video, I want to share with you 10 takeaways that I got from that event. Now these are things that I've heard before, and it's something new, but I just want to share with you 10 concepts and keys that I've either learned for the first time or I've reheard over and over again, and last night I heard them again, and it just stuck with me even more, and it made me remember it and realize it even more live. Hearing it live in person from the actual speaker is definitely more powerful than just watching a YouTube video. So I will mention I was in the back of the conference, the seminar room. It was a big conference room, a big ballroom. Probably they kept saying 5,000 to 6,000 to 7,000 people were there. That's pretty huge. I was all the way kind of in the back. I wasn't directly in the back section, but I was like the second tier in the back. So it is what it is, but pretty cool conference still. Had a great time. And here are the 10 concepts and ideas that I remembered, that I learned. Here are the 10 concepts from that seminar I'm going to share with you right now. The first two I'm going to go through are from Les Brown, and he talked for about 20 to 30 minutes, I believe. He was on first, so he started the seminar conference, and it was really cool seeing Les Brown live. Like, I kind of actually forgot he was going to be there when I first signed up for it, and a couple days before I actually remembered. I was like, oh yeah, Les Brown's going to be there. That's awesome. So he opened it, and he talked about some cool stuff. I'm just going to give you 2 quick things that he went over. Like I said, he went over a bunch of quick stuff. He told the story of how he was hungry and how he was, wanted to provide for his family and his mama. Provide for his mom. And he wanted to show her show her appreciation for taking him from his biological mother and being his adopted mother and becoming his mom and everything. He wanted to show his gratitude. And talking about how he got his job as a DJ and how he became a DJ, so that was really fun. And he was very funny, comical. His laugh was just super cool. Like, he was just laughing, like, it was great. It was a good opening, definitely a good opening speaker from Les Brown. And I knew it was going to be. So, 2 things I learned from it I took away is study those who are doing what you want to be doing or what you're already doing. So if I want to be successful on YouTube or successful with blogging, I have to study people who are successful with YouTube and who are successful with blogging. I need to study what they're doing, what they do in their lives, in their business. I don't have to exactly copy what they do, but I definitely want to take what they do and put it into my own, make it my own. So you always want to be studying those who are doing what you want to do and what you're doing to become better at that particular thing. And I've heard that one all over the place. Like, I've heard that one on YouTube probably dozens or hundreds of times, but it's just seeing it live and hearing it live really just sparks something inside of me to really think about it more. And I really don't do that enough. I don't study people who do what I want to be doing. So that's something I definitely got to work on. In the second one, he kept saying it, and I already mentioned it. He talked about how he was hungry. If you want something in your life, you have to be hungry. And the way he says it, you have to be hungry. You have to be hungry, guys. You have to be hungry. If you want to be successful, if you want something in life, you can't just be like, oh, well, I want it, I guess, whatever. No, you have to be hungry. Like, I'm hungry right now to work on YouTube, to work on blog, to make things work. And I'll talk about other stuff in a different video of what I actually want to be doing and stuff, what I'll be focusing on. That'll be a different video. I got some other videos planned that I might shoot today. So I'm hungry to make some content. I'm hungry to improve myself. And I'm hungry to take my life to the next step, the next level. I want to take my life to the next level, guys. Alright, guys. So next up was John Maxwell, who is an author of books like Intentional Living, and I believe there's another one that I wrote down, Develop the Leader Inside of You 2.0. I believe those were both his books, John Maxwell. So I'll definitely be looking into his books and checking them out, definitely. So he said a lot of good stuff, but what I think I'm going to stick with one for him, because obviously Tony Robbins spoke for 4 hours, so I definitely want to give him a little bit more. So the best thing that I got from John Maxwell, and it just stuck with me the entire time. Every time I thought about what I learned, this was like one of the top things that I really never thought about it like this. Like, people say it in different ways, but it's just crazy how what he said, how much it made sense. So the thing he said was, everything worthwhile, everything that you want in life is uphill. And that's true. If you think about it, everything that you would want in life, everything that you desire in life, it's uphill. It's an uphill battle to get to. But it doesn't just end there. To get uphill is to be intentional. Because like his book, Intentional Living, which I will definitely be checking out. To get uphill, you have to be intentional. He even made like he did a funny thing where he was on stage walking around and he was like, no one ever wakes up one day and was like, wow, I just made it to the hilltop and I don't even know how. Like, I just made it to the mountaintop. I'm uphill now. And someone will ask him, oh, how'd you do it? And he's like, I just woke up. I didn't do anything. I just woke up one day and I'm uphill. I have everything I want. That's not how it works. So, for 99.99% of people, you don't just wake up and you just get whatever you want in life. You have to get uphill with it. And what really stuck with me, because this stuff was making sense, and then what really stuck with me was this one thing he said after this. You can't, most people are unsuccessful. Unsuccessful people who don't get what they want in life, have uphill hopes with downhill habits. And this resonated with me so much, because that's how I live my life. I have all these uphill hopes, but I have all these downhill habits that I do every single day. So I really took away from that quote itself a lot during the seminar yesterday. It just kept coming back into my mind, speaker after speaker. That's just all I was remembering. Like, it was like the best of the best of what I learned yesterday, I believe. That quote stuck with me so much, because it's one I haven't heard before, so I never thought of it like that, and it just put a lot of things in perspective for me, and I've been thinking about that a lot. Like, what can I do to get rid of these downhill habits and get more uphill habits? And I can already feel some small changes I've been doing this week, even before the seminar. So I think I'm on the right track. Next up, guys, was two sellers, and I really didn't care that much. I think they went on way too long. Tony Robbins actually 2 hours late going on stage because of how long some of the guys were going, and pretty much everyone was in their time limit except for two people who were after John Maxwell, who were sellers, and a lot of people left during it. That's fine. That's usually how it happens, but they were interesting at first, but then they just kept dragging and repeating the same things they were saying over and over again. So I was tuning out of both of them a lot and just didn't care after a while. Like, if they just shortened it up by like 20 minutes, I probably, if I had the money or if I was really interested in doing those things, I probably would have maybe made a purchase. But they kept drilling, and they were just overselling these products and courses and 3-day seminars and stuff. And I'll get into that a little bit later, but there's just too much. And I guess as a bonus, what I learned from them is, if you oversell a presentation, if you oversell an item to somebody, you're going to turn them off. And yeah, there's a lot of people who still bought it, but like, for a lot of people, you get turned off after a while. You know, you don't need to be hearing about the same thing for an hour. Like, you don't have to keep repeating the same things in an hour. Just give us the information, let us make a decision, type of thing. So I learned that, like, overselling sometimes can be beneficial and non-beneficial. not beneficial as well. Next up was the main man, Gary Vaynerchuk, and this is really cool seeing Gary V. And actually, I'll say about the one person who was selling a course right before Gary V. He was selling like an investment type program that helps you find good stocks and how to determine if a stock is going to go up or down, and like different keys of how to see if a company is going to make more money or if it's losing money, and like what the insiders, like insider trading, and like what are they doing, and it's all legal apparently. Whatever. The crowd was just dead for him. Like the first guy who did the real estate sale, he got some people. He got the crowd kind of into it just a little bit. Like he had feedback and stuff. This guy couldn't get anything, and he kept pointing it out. Like this is like a terrible. Like, no, you didn't say terrible crowd, but he was like, wow, I keep thinking I'm alone. Like he kept putting down the audience a little bit. And he didn't sell as many as the real estate guy. So, and his product was even cheaper, and like he didn't get that much traction. I don't believe. Like people weren't as excited to get his thing, and his was cheaper because he was just dragging it on, and he was putting down the audience in a way, and he wasn't energetic. He wasn't keeping it. He was like smiling, but he was doing that weird smile, and like you could tell he wasn't happy because the crowd wasn't giving him anything back. So it is what it is. But Gary Vee came on. He was right after him. Gary Vee came on the stage. Place is going crazy, going nuts for him. That's how it is. Gary Vee wasn't trying to sell you anything, and people know Gary Vee, and it was cool seeing him live. And two things I learned, again, because I've heard, he's even said at the end, he was cursing a lot. It was funny. He was very funny to see live. If you've seen any of his keynotes on his YouTube channel, Gary Vee, it's all the same. He even said at the end, I have one pitch. And this was his one pitch. Attention is the asset. On social media, the TV's dying. Like people aren't but consuming TV anymore. Most people aren't. Like 80% of the room said they mostly watch Netflix and like surf the web. Like they're always using the internet to consume content and stuff, and like using that programs and apps to watch content, which is true. I do mostly YouTube. So attention is the asset on social media, YouTube, everything. You have to get people's attention. You have to stand out. You have to create urgency, I guess. You want to like be able to get people to stick with you and pay attention to you, to sell whatever you gotta do, or promote whatever you're gonna promote, or do whatever you're gonna do. Entertain them. Whatever your goal is, you have to get the attention first. And another thing is, and this is like every aspect of life, people are either on the offensive or defensive. There's people who are going to be pushing through adversity. They're going to be on offense. They're going to be pushing forward. They want to get through life. They're going to try to achieve things. And there's other people in the world and in life who are going to sit there and complain about the government, complain about other people, complain about rich people, say how life's not fair. They're always defensive. They're always defending themselves, like, oh, I don't have to do this because of this. I shouldn't have to do this because they should do it for me, type of thing. These are just examples I'm coming up with, but people are not in the middle. You're not on the fence on anything. Like there's no middle ground. You're either on the offensive or defensive. Either you're pushing through or you're sitting back and not doing anything. Is another way to look at it. So those are two things Gary Vee talks about, which he talks about most of his keynotes and stuff, because he has one pitch. He just wants you to do things. And he said Instagram ads, Facebook ads are really undervalued, so that's a great way to make money this day and age. So that we're so grateful to have the internet and cell phones and all this stuff. Like we're living in the best times to be successful. So that was like kind of like a third one, but yeah. And the next one was on wealth, and this was the guy. I'm looking for his name right now because I actually forgot to write his name down. It's the guy who's a part of, I don't know if this is actually his course or if it's someone else's, I forget, but I've heard about it before. It's the Millionaire Mindset. It's Doug Nelson. I can't remember if it's actually his course or not. Honestly, don't remember. I think he might be one of the speakers there or something. One of the people who have, but Doug Nelson, he represented, the life of, sorry guys, Money Mind, Millionaire Mind Intensive. He was representing that, and he was selling it. Except the whole thing was he wasn't selling it the whole time. He was selling it the last maybe 10, 15, 20 minutes. He was selling it. And he gave a lot of good information. I actually had to go get coffee at this point because we already had lunch. Gary came on, and I was just I had a cheesesteak, so I was kind of feeling down. So I'm like, I need some coffee. So I got coffee with espresso. Had to wait in like a little line. It was taking a little long. So what I got out of him was the tree of life. You know, everyone focuses on your tree. If you have a tree in your front yard, backyard, people see it. It's a nice tree with like fruit, say apples, and everyone looks at the tree and it's like, wow, look at that tree, look how great it is. I want a tree like that. But they're not thinking and looking at the roots. The roots are more important than what you see. They're more important than the fruit, because if your roots are wrong, they're not the right thing, you're not going to get what you want. And I actually wrote down, this is what he made. You know, you got fruit and then you have the roots. The roots are more important. The roots are more important, okay? If someone wants a lemon tree, if someone wants an apple tree, but they get a lemon tree, he said what people will do is they'll take all the apples off and they'll try to put lemons on them. And a couple weeks later, more apples pop up. I'm screwing this up, I think. Okay, people want an apple tree. They don't want a lemon tree because, you know, people think lemons. People use lemon as an example for things that aren't good. Why is this focusing? I think I screwed up my camera, guys. I apologize. But yeah, it was it's like messing with me now. I apologize for my hair. I'm actually gonna cut this part out. So you have a tree. You have a fruit tree. People want an apple tree. Let's say someone wants an apple tree, but they plant a lemon seed. They plant lemon seeds. They're not paying attention. They don't know what they're doing. They're planting lemon seeds, but they expect apples to pop up on their tree when it's grown. They planted the wrong root. They didn't do their roots right. Well, when those lemons come up, they're going to be like, I don't want a lemon tree. I want an apple tree. So they're going to rip off all those lemons, and they're going to put apples on that tree. And a couple weeks later, guess what's going to happen? A couple months later, whatever, I forget what he said. You're going to have more lemons because it's a lemon tree. It's not what you wanted because you didn't plant the right thing, because you didn't pay attention, you didn't do enough research, you didn't do the work to do it right. And he said the roots are most important, and he said inside of you. The outside forces, the outside world, you want to make money, you want to be able to have fancy things, or you want to have a good life, you have to start with what's inside. You have to start with your roots. You have to start with yourself, fix yourself, make sure you're okay, you're alright. You have the right basics that you need, like you have the right head, the mindset, you know. If you have the right mindset, you can do a lot. And like really what he was talking about. And also another keynote that I learned. It's more about sales and stuff, not about roots and stuff. Quick one. Want to sell more? Do you want to sell more? Ask more questions. People love talking about themselves. And there's YouTubers that I follow that say, like, ask questions. Like, they'll do Q&As and they'll ask questions of what people want. And then they'll turn around and make videos on those questions. And then they'll ask more questions. Like, oh, what do you guys want from us? What do you want from me? Like, what else can I help you with? In like, let's take reselling, eBay, for example. It's like, oh, how do you want me to help you with reselling in eBay and Amazon and stuff like that? Like, oh, I have all these questions. Someone like breaks down all these questions, you make a video on it, and then you get enough questions together, and then you make a course on it. How to help people make money using a platform. You want to sell more products, you want to promote more things, ask your audience more questions. People love talking about themselves and getting help for themselves. So you want to engage more with your audience, and you want to ask them more questions so you know what they want, so then you can turn around and give them what they want and create a fantastic fan base and customer base. I really don't know why it's doing this. I apologize if my camera isn't looking very good. I think ever since I put the thing up, the fruit picture, it kind of messed it up, but it's okay. Got to see Doug Peterson, like I said, the Eagles head coach, Super Bowl winning head coach. And then last but not least that I saw was Tony Robbins. Learned a lot of stuff from Tony. A lot of jumping up and down, a lot of hand clapping, a lot of stuff, a lot of cool stuff, guys. And it was just an incredible experience seeing Tony Robbins live, talking. For him to talk for 4 hours straight, jumping up and down, doing a lot of cool stuff. It was super, super cool, and I'm so grateful that I was able to attend yesterday. It was awesome. And he went through a lot of stuff, but some of the big ones is failure is never a lack of resources. You can have all the resources in the world. That's not the issue. It's a lack of resourcefulness. You can have the resources, but if you're not using the resources right, it doesn't matter if you have all the resources in the world. And what he put in, and then right after he said that, he said emotions are the ultimate resource, which could be creativity and stuff like that. He actually had a bunch of stuff on the screen, but I was actually taking other notes and stuff, and like he had us like jumping up and down, talking to our neighbor, like doing a lot of cool stuff throughout the 4 hours too. So I had to keep like putting this up and down. So I didn't get to write everything down perfectly, but failure is never a lack of resource; it's a lack of resourcefulness. So that's definitely a big one. All right, this next one is gonna be a little weird to explain. The next up was, this is a very basic one. New results stem from new actions. If you do the same thing over and over again, you're going to get the same old results that you don't like. And to get new results, to take new actions, you need a good state of mind. You need to focus. It's what you focus on, and it's what you think about. Psychology. Physical things like psychology, focus. Action and behavior. Your state is your action and your behavior equals results. You have to be in a great state of mind, performing great actions with a great behavior to get great results. And you want to focus on your state. You want to make sure your state is a positive one. That's why people have morning routines. That's why people work out. That's why people eat healthy. Because they're taking care of their body. They're focusing on their state. They're focusing on being healthy, being active, which, being not slouching, not be putting yourself down, not trying to keep yourself down, uplift yourself, get more energy, have more energy. Your state of mind is everything. If you have a bad state of mind, which I do a lot, I don't get anything done. I'm going to be honest with you guys, I don't get a lot done. So I've been really trying to work on my state, and I want to focus on more productive things, more healthier things, and really get really great actions, great behaviors to get great results. Another thing. And last thing that I'm going to talk about, guys, that I learned from Tony Robbins. 2 skills to master in life. 2 life skills that you need to master. 2 skills you need to master for life is 1. Master science of achievement. Success leaves clues. You want to master the science of achievement. What is science? That means, if you want to master science of achievement, that means achievement can be broken down into steps. It can be analyzed. There's records in history of success, of how people became successful. There's a science to becoming successful, and everyone can figure out the science to it. You got to research. Success leaves clues. Success leaves clues. Kind of like I was talking with Les Brown. Follow the people that are doing what you want to be doing. That's exactly what this means. You can achieve success because you are doing what other successful people did. And you're mimicking, you're taking it, what's the word? You're making it into your own, like I was saying before. You're doing that kind of thing. You're mastering the science of achievement. And the second skill to master in life is to master the art of fulfillment. Yeah, you can achieve everything in the world, but it doesn't mean you're fulfilled. And he used a great example, which is also a tragic example. He used the example of Robin Williams, successful actor, successful movie star, successful comedian, successful, he did some other stuff too. But he was successful in all different areas of life except for one, and that was fulfillment. He was a TV star, movie star, comedian, and then he killed himself. So why did he? Because he wasn't happy. He wasn't fulfilled. So you want to make sure that no matter how much achievement that you achieve, like how much success you achieve in life, you want to make sure that deep down inside you're actually fulfilled. So you want to definitely master the art of fulfillment. Like I said, there's a lot of other stuff that they went over, and like a lot of it was just them talking, and I take notes of everything just because they wasn't a lot of slides. Some the ones that I did write down had slides and just random things they would say, quotes. I would try to write down as fast as I can. But there's a lot of speakers, a lot of time crunches, but it was overall it was a very good seminar, and I paid for my ticket. Remember, I was closer to the back. I paid around 75, probably plus some fees and stuff. Parking was like almost half of what I paid for the actual ticket, which is crazy. And I got a lot out of it. I was like this close to Tony Robbins. He actually was like running around towards the back, towards the end of the thing. He was just jumping up, we're all clapping. I mean, we were doing that for 4 hours, and then towards the end, he actually started running and walking to the back, like jumping up and down to the back from where we were. He was in like we were on like the left side where I was. He was like on the right side, and there was like these chairs in the middle. So we all started walking over there. A lot of people got over there by the time he was already there. I was like walking over there, and then he like went in a different direction. So I was kind of bummed, but I was like, okay, that's my fault. But at the same time, I didn't even think he was going to go over there, because before he would go near it, and then he would just turn around. So I didn't actually think he was going to do that, but he did. But it was cool. Like, I was within feet of Tony Robbins. I think that was pretty cool. I'll take it, because I am definitely going to go to more Tony Robbins seminars and stuff like that, because the energy that he created for just myself was incredible. I was talking to people, I was jumping up and down with people, high-fiving, communicating, something I usually don't do with strangers at all. So it was just crazy. It was a crazy good time. Like I said, I'll link down the conference name, because they have a bunch of them, and the site that the company that runs it. And guys, this was overall cool experience. I don't know how long this video is actually going to be, but I apologize if this video is long, but this is just my personal review of going to see Tony Robbins, Les Brown, Gary Vaynerchuk live, and it was an awesome time, guys. Very, very awesome time. And I highly suggest if you have the opportunity to go to a seminar with any of those guys, and if all three of them were actually there in the same conference, I highly, no matter what the price ticket is, you should do it, because it's worth every penny. And Tony Robbins gives a show every time he is on stage. Like I said, he talked for 4 hours straight. The guy is insane, and I know he does weekend things where he talks not all day because he has other speakers, but he's jumping up and down, communicating with people pretty much all day. So the guy's insane, powerful, awesome. If you guys enjoyed this video, like, comment, subscribe. I'll be making a lot more videos like this. Hopefully soon the setting will be a lot more clean. I just want to get this review out, and I kind of actually want to show my progress. This channel is all about my progress. I really want to commit to making more videos. So this is my progress of going to a convention seminar. So I guess, but thanks guys for watching. See you in the next video.